Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm finally back after a few weeks because I had a paper that I had to submit, which I just finished now and submitted, so I have time to film again. So this is actually a video that I have wanted to do for such a long time, which is how much I spent in a week. So first, I will section this off into different parts so you can kind of skip around and watch whatever you want. But first, I just want to talk about why I'm doing this and why it's kind of an important topic to talk about. I think it's very interesting to share this with you guys. Since Switzerland is so expensive, it might be helpful for any of you who are thinking of coming here to study, whether it's exchange or full-time or whatever it is, or if you're just curious, or some of you might live in Switzerland and might want to compare how much you're using compared to me. And by the way, if I'm looking down, it's again at the computer screen, so yeah. I also want to do a disclaimer that what I'm saying in this video is how much I personally use, and everybody kind of spends their money differently because we have different lifestyle, and just about kind of how I spend my money, when I shop and stuff. I don't always choose the cheapest option. A lot of time in supermarkets I will kind of go for what I think is worth it in my opinion. So you'll probably see it when I start talking about my weekly expenses. I'm also not trying to live as cheaply as possible, because I do still enjoy going to restaurants with friends and doing different activities. Also, it has been very easy to track all the numbers in this video because I use my card to pay for everything. So on the app I can see the exact amount that I paid for in a week. So let's start off with the fixed cost. After I drink some water. We have a green theme today. Everything is green except my hair. Okay, so first, starting with the fixed cost. My rent is 580 Swiss francs per month. So I have one room in a 4-person shared apartment with one kitchen, a living space, and a dining space connected. So I think this price for St. Gallen is an okay average price. I do know people who have apartments who are cheaper, but not too much cheaper. I would say this is kind of the average, but these days the rent has been a lot higher. So I also do know a lot of people who their rent is 600 to 800. But if you live in a studio or live by yourself, then it can be up to 1,000 Swiss francs. So how much you spend on rent really depends on what kind of flat or apartment or studio you're living in. So if you're interested in knowing about apartment hunting in St. Gallen and my whole process, let me know and I could do a video about it. So 580 per month would translate to 145 francs per week. Next is my phone bill. I use Salt and I pay 28.9 francs per month, which is 7.225 francs per week. And for my subscriptions, YouTube, Apple Music, Netflix, all of that, I'm lucky to use a family plan, so I don't pay for it. Next is the variable cost. So I spend an average of around 40 to 50 Swiss francs per month on grocery. And I don't shop once per week. Sometimes I go to the grocery multiple times to get things that I need here and there. So every week is different, and sometimes when I buy the grocery ones, it lasts for a week and a half or even 2 weeks, depending on how many days I eat at home. So for this week specifically, it is 43.95 francs, where I made the investment the first time ever in my life to buy salmon. And you would have seen it in my what I eat in a week video and know that this script is actually from a few months ago. Yeah, and I also went to the grocery and spent 10.95 francs there. I bought stuff like soy sauce, instant noodles and stuff, which do last a few weeks and months. Yeah, but last week my grocery bill was 54.35 francs, which lasted 1 week and a half. So I need to say that 50 francs per week for grocery for me is okay, but I do know people who spend a lot less because they don't eat meat. For me, I do eat quite a lot of meat, as you might have seen, so that is quite expensive in Switzerland. Yeah. Next, for my transportation cost, every weekend I go back to Zurich to see my family, and the train to Zurich is 15.5 francs. So to go there and come back, it is 31 francs in total per week. And I also take the bus to school a couple of times. The bus is 2.2 francs a week, which makes a total for 11 francs. Yeah, so I do have the Haupttags, which makes everything half cheaper than it is, but I don't know the exact price that I got it for because it has been a long time, so you can maybe search it up how much the Haupttags is if you're interested. And I am also currently looking for like a monthly bus ticket to save cost, but I'm still like researching on that. So for now I'm still paying per trip, which is getting quite expensive if I want to go to uni a couple of times a day, because I have classes in the morning and in the evening, all that. So sometimes it is more than 11 or sometimes it's less because I choose to walk up the hill. But yeah, in winter when it's like really cold, I can't. Next is household things. So it's things that I share with people in the flat, and in our flat we use an app called Flatastic, where when you buy something you would put it in the app, and then the app would like divide it by 4 or by whatever how many people, and then per month you would have the total like bill for it that you have to pay or that somebody pays you depending on how much you paid. So for example, if I buy toilet paper, I would put the final amount in the app and then share it between 4 people, and it would just kind of sit in the app until the end of the month. Yeah. In this app we also have the electricity and internet bill, and like dishwashing, fixing the shower when it's broken, kitchen tools, or all that. Because it varies so much per month, I would say the average is around 50 francs, which makes it 12.5 francs per week. Although, again, repeating that it's different every month. Sometimes it's like super cheap, sometimes super expensive, depending on the things that we need. Next, I'm coming to the specifics of how much I spend per day of like the specific things that I buy each day. So for Monday, I had breakfast at home. For lunch, I had a Coke takeaway. I don't remember what I ate anymore, but it was 6.96 francs. And then I made the investment to buy Dunkin' Donuts. It's very expensive here. It's 3.7 francs, but it was pretty good. And then for dinner, I cooked myself. For Tuesday, I bought a pasta pesto from a takeaway shop near Marktplatz in St. Gallen, and it was 10.8 francs. And I was able to eat that for both lunch and dinner because I got so much. I will insert a picture up here. For Wednesday in the morning, I had a coffee and a muffin for breakfast, so that was 4.9 francs. For lunch, I got this thing from uni. I also put a picture up. It's this weird thing. I don't know what it is. It was 8.5 francs, but I didn't really like it and I couldn't really eat it. So in the afternoon, I bought another gold sandwich for 7.96 francs. And for dinner, I had it at a friend's place, so I didn't pay for it. On Thursday, again, I had coffee and pastry for 4.9 francs. For lunch, I had it at uni. It was 7.95 francs, and dinner at home. And for Friday, I had a Migros takeaway from the train. It was this sandwich thing for 6.5 francs. And then I went back to Zurich to kind of show some exchange students around. So we went to this mountain called Uetliberg, insert picture. The train was 4.4 up and 3.4 francs down because we did walk kind of the top portion. And then we had dinner at a restaurant which was 26 francs. Yeah. I would say that I don't eat out too often, around I'd say maybe once per week or per 2 weeks, but every time I eat out it is like 30 or sometimes even 40 francs, so eating out in Switzerland is expensive. And on Saturday and Sunday I spent it with my family, so I didn't really pay for anything, we just cooked and ate at home. The last thing is the HSG tuition fee. So the HSG fee is different for both my semester, the autumn and the spring semester, but I pay the Swiss fee, so if you're an international student it would be different. But it is 102 francs per week. We have 12 weeks per semester. So everything except the tuition fee would be 352 francs 0.695 cents, and including the HSG tuition fee it's 454.6 695. Yeah, it was super interesting to see how much I spent, and you know, looking back on it, I definitely could have saved more money. For example, like when I go grocery, I could kind of shop cheaper, or you know, I usually eat one meal at uni. If I kind of cooked at home and prepared like a sandwich myself instead of buying, it would have been cheaper. Or walking around more instead of using the public transport, that would have been cheaper. But at the same time, you also have to kind of consider the concept of opportunity cost, which a YouTuber that I really like, her name is Julie Cho, she also talked about this, that it is important to consider the opportunity cost. For example, the time that I was making my sandwich or cooking for lunch, I could have used it for something else, whether it's schoolwork or resting. Also, you know, as I said before, I do buy a lot of food from outside instead of cooking myself, because sometimes in the evenings I'm just so tired and just don't feel like cooking. So that's that. Let me know what you thought about this video and if you found it helpful, because I do had some people DMing me asking how much I spent in a week or month, or I've seen a few requests for this video, so hopefully I was able to answer your questions. And you know, if you live in Switzerland or are currently a student in Switzerland, let me know what your budget is and how much you spent, because I would love to compare myself with somebody else to see like if I'm spending too much or not, or if what I'm spending is kind of the normal range. Yeah, so that is it for today's video. Let me know if you have any questions, any ideas for further videos, whatever you want to see on this channel. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!